everyone, Jonatan King here, and we're back from the review. Today's review is on the 2026 Percy and Pals Diecast pack. So let's get into it. So yeah, I finally got my hands on the 2026 merch. I have one other item I'm going to review after this video, but this is technically really my first exposure to the 2026 line via this Amazon multi-pack. I mean, it's really just a quick and easy way I could have gotten my hands on the 2026 stuff a little early. I mean, I know it's starting to make its way to Targets across the country, but I found this just an easy way to get my hands on a couple of characters, some of which I really wanted, others not really. But again, I'll go more in depth into it. So here we have the packaging, just your very simple packaging you get from something from, like Amazon or whatever. Like, I do wish this packaging had a render of Percy on it as opposed to the 2026 Thomas render. I mean, you literally have a render of Percy. It's featured on the packaging of the Railroad Builder packs. I don't know why it couldn't have used that, because I mean, Thomas isn't in his pack, it's just Percy, Rose, and Gordon. Which I do find it interesting that at least like early listings of this referred to as the Percy and Pals pack, similar to the Thomas and Pals pack, Thomas, Diesel, and James. But which is a nice way to get sort of like, little value pack, if you will, of, 2 small engines and a large engine. Because I don't think Amazon is actually going to get, the diecast individual on their own. If you do ever see a listing on Amazon that is a diecast engine by itself, it's more than likely a third-party seller, which is going to sell it a little bit over the average price. So on the back of the box, we actually do have... Oh, dang it, my knees. So on the back of the box, we do have renders of everyone from Wave 1, both small and deluxe. I really like how we're showing characters on the back of the box. So again, that's one of my biggest complaints with the push-alongs and stuff. You can see everyone you get. Also, again, I hot take, I really like the dark blue on this packaging. Some people, complain like, oh, it's like Paw Patrol and whatnot, but I just really think dark blue and Thomas kind of match pretty well, if you ask me, because, I get Thomas kind of dark blue on this box, but still, Thomas as a character, I feel like stands out more on the darker blue background. I love just like wood paneling on top. It just, because I always think like, it's like the take-along packaging and the early Bachman packaging, for example, they all use very light blue, coloring and whatnot, or the Wooden Railway packaging, modern Wooden Railway packaging, from late Wooden Railway, also use dark blue packaging. But I'm just saying, I just think dark blue and Thomas make sure they late Earl as well. But let's just get into the pack, shall we? Enough yapping. So here's everyone. Just stock standard releases of Rosie, Trip Dog, and Gordon. So I guess we'll just start off with Rosie since she's first. So Rosie is one of my most wanted characters from the small engine Wave 1, because again, I don't actually own a diecast Rosie in any capacity, so it is nice to have this. On the bottom of the engine, you can see here it says their names are now engraved. There's like a little ticket on the bottom. I think I find that really cute, and the font reminds me of the Railway series font as well. You can see that all these items were produced on the what is this, the 10th week of 2026, right? Because stuff last year has you. So yeah, 10th week of 2025. I think that's sometime in March, I want to say. I could be completely wrong, but yeah, Rosie is nice. I do think there are a couple of very small problems with Rosie as a character. Not as a character, as a model. Like, his face! She looks like a fucking cat, bro. Like, this expression is not Rosie by any means. Also, mine did come with a little bit of a scratched headlamp. But it's probably Rosie. I feel like she's lacking in detail. I feel like we were robbed from the prototype that we saw at the New York Toy Fair, where she actually had gold printing on the bottom, printed cylinders, but then also no boiler lining either. I also find that pretty interesting. And also, another big problem with Rosie is how low she rides. Here she is in comparison to Percy. I mean, assuming this is based on the CGI models, Rosie is actually a taller tank engine and is taller than Thomas and especially Percy by extension. But see, like here she is next to you know, the 2025 Thomas. Again, see, it's not as bad, but still glaringly obvious that there's a height problem. Also, something worth noting is that the wheels on the 2026 engines are smaller than the 2025 ones. Completely new toolings and all. So that's another thing I dislike about these new toys, is that they're using rivets and not screws, but I get why it's safety concerns. But and here's Rosie next to Ertl Percy, who actually scales a little better with Rosie and whatnot. So that's worth noting. Anyway, so let's move on to the next character. Trip dog, let's go. So here he is. I'm conflicted as to whether or not I like 2026 Percy over the 2025 one. So here he is. Both of them have their pros and cons. Like, Percy has side rods. 2025 didn't have side rods, which why did we do away with the side rods from the 2026 engines? Like, it kind of grew on me. I thought we were gonna keep these, but I guess, you know, they kind of listened to the complaints and decided to do away with them. But see, Percy has separately fitted a whistling safety valve and a dome, all of which are painted. He's lacking his water filler cap, whereas while Percy does have, the 2026 Percy has a molded water filler cap, his safety valve is missing, and his dome and whistle valve are not painted. Again, also has separate fitted details, you know, separate fitted coal bunker and cab. He has a molded tail lamp, which the 2025 Percy doesn't. Again, I also find it, like, why did we go back to, like, the nub, like, flat buffers? I kind of like the buffers that we got from All Engines Go. But, what else? First ever piece of Percy merch to actually feature his handrails. Which is worth noting. He has lamp irons and a lamp molded on, which is really nice. I do like that feature. Its face, though. Ooh, boy, that's bad. What else? I feel like proportionally Percy isn't as bad, but I feel like his wheels could be better spaced together. And also he has a cylinder, which this guy doesn't, again, you know, from the fact that the side rods are in the way, and also he's kind of just tooled off of the All Engines Go Percy to some extent. But yeah, I mean, also I love how his handrails are actually, like, you know, molded in 3D and whatnot. Here's his name on the bottom and whatnot, V10A. I also like how with these magnets, there's arrows pointing which direction they face. I do find that pretty neat. But yeah, this face is not it. And also, I mean, yeah, he's just here. I don't hate him. He's definitely grown on me actually owning him in hand. So let's move on to the most controversial engine, I think, in my opinion, that being Gordon. So here he is. Oh god, the fact that this was our first exposure to 2026 series really says something. Like, he's just so fucking fat. He really is a galloping sausage. Like, yes, I love how this is technically our first diecast Gordon with an accurate real configuration since Ertl, which is crazy to think about. I love the dark blue on him, actually. It's really nice. No single molded handrails. It does suck that the only metal on him is his boiler. Everything else is plastic. That does suck. I do like how he has the proper express head code, which, again, first piece of merch to do this for Gordon. God, that face is just so fucking bad. Well, and also, I've noticed with a lot of Gordon's is that his face is crooked to some extent. But, yeah, dude, his face just does not scream Gordon. Like, he's just so flippin' fat. That's another problem. And just, like, in comparison to Henry, he was a completely different engine. You can fit a Trackmaster Gordon face on this guy. And Trackmaster too, and it still wouldn't fit properly. But again, and my biggest complaint, and this is a flaw of all the tender engines, is the fact that, well, yes, I do like their longer tenders. It reminds me of, Tomy. The fact that they don't have middle wheels, man, it gets to, like, you know, have clearance and, you know, clear curves better. I mean, I'm sure there is a way to do it, but it's just, I don't know, man, this looks really bad. The tender's completely hollow, giant hunk of plastic. Tender is part of the mold, and also you're permanently attached. I'm kind of conflicted about that, because, again, you wouldn't have listings with these guys, you know, out there permanently divorced from their tenders. But, yeah, I mean, I do like, I feel like my biggest problem with these guys is that, like, when it comes to their magnets, I wish they, like, had the magnet guards black, like the Taken Play did. Like, this looks so much more appealing than the big, fat, like, red thing protruding out of him. Looks like he's holding something, you know? But, yeah, I mean, Gordon looks really nice in dark blue, as I said, but he's probably the weakest point of this pack. He's just, I can't take him seriously. He's these giant, thick, molded eyebrows. Which is another thing. Why are we going back? Why do you have molded eyebrows all of a sudden? This really defeats, like, you know, expressions and whatnot. So all these guys are hitting the same, like, soulless face. Like, this is not Percy. This looks like some random fat fucking kid. But, yeah, I mean, I'm conflicted about the change to magnets. Well, I do think they're trying to, you know, combine Diecast and Wooden Railway back into one thing, since, you know, Wooden Railway's dead. But it's just sad that they didn't really put much thought into it, where this is stuff you got a year prior, it's not compatible with each other. I think that's my biggest problem. And, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, here's Gordon next to his, All Engines Go counterpart, and, ooh, boy, there's a difference, alright. And structurally, I mean, the idea is still there, but, oof, yeah, he's rough. This is rough by comparison. Like, this doesn't look like Gordon anymore at this point. Like, neither of them don't. But I mean, yeah. And again, here they are with my 2015 Taken by Thomas, for example. No, polarities are reversed, so they are not sadly compatible with the old Taken Play. However, they are compatible with they are compatible with Wooden Railway, which I do think is a nice touch. I'm actually very happy about that they can do that. That was the one thing I was very concerned about with this item. But yeah, I'm gonna cut to some track tests, since I don't have the 2026 track. I'm gonna show how these guys work on motorized tracks, so I will be right back. Alright, so I have a couple of tracks set up. So basically, these new diecasts do actually have a slightly narrower wheelbase in comparison to the old push-alongs. This is because the track width is actually wider for the new track system, so they're barely fit on this old track. So obviously engines like Rose and Percy, they take curves just fine. They kind of struggle on points because of these stupid nub things. I don't know why they exist. But then you have an engine like Gordon. So basically, you know, he's again, works great on straights. But then, oop, just begins to die on this curve. Now there is a way to fix this, and it is with a screwdriver. So Gordon does have one screw on this bottom. Also, I just noticed Gordon was made on a different date than Percy and Early. 12th week of 2025. In 2026. So that, I'm actually curious now. a date on this. Not seeing a date. Weird. Anyway, there's a screw right here. It is a triangle screw. Both of my bits don't work because I have a handy dandy screwdriver kit, so I am going to use a flathead and potentially destroy this screw. So be careful, make sure you have the right width of screw, because I'm like, it's like, I do have like an actual triangle head bit, but my smallest size is 2.0 and 2.3, meaning I probably need like a either a 2.5 or a 2.2 in order to get the screw undone. So let's just get that done real quick. Alright, so after a bit of being at war with his screw, which I have completely just annihilated his screw, I got it loose a little bit. I actually all of my heads are too big or too small. I need something that's like just right. So like all my triangle shaped heads like these, I just need something that's like, what is it? So it's like 0.2. I guess I need like a 1.7 instead of a 2 point. But anyway, so I mean, I did loosen it up a little bit, so you can see like if you force him, he can kind of take hers, but still he just doesn't agree with them that much. But you know, I go on and on about the magnets, but again, my biggest problem with these magnets is that I don't think Mattel has fixed the alloys on their magnets. Like, here is my 2015 Take and Play Gold Thomas. You can see here, his magnet's disgusting. And already you can kind of see, it's kind of hard to tell, but the magnets are already starting to corrode and oxidize a bit. See, here is a 2022 Wooden Railway Thomas. You can see I've had this guy for what, about a year or two now. I mean, this is an alright example here. I'll show a better example. Here is my 2022 Percy, which let's do that real quick. He does not want to. Here's my 2022 Percy, which here's a better example. Here's my 2022 Percy. So after 4 years of having him, his magnet just completely corroded. And I do have some worse examples over here in my excluded bin of Wooden Railway, which where is it? Hold on. Here's my wood Ryan that I got also in 2022. Look at that, also oxidized magnets. Meaning these magnets have like at least a year on them, and also here's my 2015 Wooden Railway Thomas. Ooh, he's had the worst, but then I've played with him a lot. So I mean, there's that. I'm just saying, these magnets do not have the greatest longevity, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's my biggest concern with these guys. Like, I get where they're coming from, but I just don't. I really think we're onto something with the plastic magnets. I mean, the plastic couplings. Like, ever since Mattel's taken over all of the range that included magnets, the alloys they use are shit. Even with motorized. If you look at the actuals on some of the motorized items, they oxidize almost instantly out of package. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell, but they do oxidize pretty well. But still, do I recommend this pack though? I mean, if you're desperate for this stuff, if you like all three of his characters, I recommend it. You're not getting that much of a deal per se with this, because the pack is, I believe, $17.50, meaning if you divide it up, you're basically paying sticker price. It's like $4.36 or something, like $4 and change for small engines, and then $6 and double the price for large deluxe engines. So I mean, you're not getting that much of a discount. So if you really want these guys, go ahead and get this pack. But honestly, stick to the singles if you can. But it's a nice way to just get, 3 characters at once. And there's nothing really truly appealing about this pack. There's no special variant, which, I mean, it would have been nice if we got, like, hey, maybe like a metallic Percy for this set, because it's technically called the Percy and Powell set. But, again, not expecting much from this pack. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next review, where we'll take a look at Thomas and Scruffy. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out and goodbye. One day, Trip the dog...